Welcome to Allie's Attic Show, where you never know what kind of surprise you're going to find in my attic. I'm your host, Allie, and today my surprise has been quietly on the rise as a New York area recording artist. You can hear it in his accent. Please say hello to Rob O'Mara. Hello, Rob.
Hello.
How are
you doing?
How you doing? I don't know where that came from. I must watch too much of The Sopranos when it was on. Anyways, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, Allie. Yourself?
I'm doing good. We're both kind of fighting colds at the moment.
Yes. I hope I don't out-sniffle you and vice versa.
Yeah, right? I'm hoping I don't either. And my voice keeps cracking every now and then. I'm like, oh my God, no. Okay.
You sound great.
Sound great. Well, not as great as you. Like your songs, Rob, oh my God. Now, I want you to tell me your journey, but first I'm going to tell you, when I listen to songs, it's so weird, and I'm sure it happens to other people. Other artists pop into your mind. And
sure,
when I listened to both the songs, so the first song, I'm thinking, oh my God, Seals and Croft. Like it just took me back there to like the 70s and the storytelling, and it was just beautiful. And then the other one, I'm like, you remind me of Harry Chapin. Like it's a story, like, you know? Sure. So I just wanted to say that. But you've got this certain rasp to your voice that you know it's Rob O'Mara. I mean, there's no question about it. So,
well, thank you, Allie. My goodness, thank you.
You're welcome. So, let's talk a bit about your journey. I mean, legendary New York DJ Carol Miller spoke of your work as heavy and very moving, and it is. Bill Aucoin, manager of Kiss and Billy Idol, proclaimed himself to be one of your biggest fans, which is quite the compliment.
Something else.
Right?
Yes.
And you've composed songs and lyrics for television, film, artists, publishers, producers, and music supervisors. And are you still working with Visionary Music Group, Universal Music, Warner Chappell Music?
I am.
Okay.
I'm very fortunate to still be doing that, yes.
Awesome. And they say, and it does speak your music. They say you bring a poetic, lyrical element and melodic grace to the team, and you do. I mean, I don't know about anybody else on that team, but for me, that's what it does for me. Now, tell me your journey, Rob. Like, when did you decide? How old were you when you started this?
Well, I was 12. You know, I heard a couple of kids in 7th grade talk about forming a band, and I learned that they needed a drummer. So I don't know if something in me said, I'm going to play the drums. And how I was going to do that, I don't know. We lived in an apartment building, a modest place in Jersey City. And so on the way to going to the drum section at the music store, I saw what is a bass guitar. And I'm telling you, I was just thunderstruck. There may have been drool involved. I don't know. But I was transfixed, and I said to the fellow who played guitar, who I still talk to today, he's just a great guy, Eric Goingfield, and I said, "What is that?" And he goes, "You play drums? You don't know what a bass guitar is?" So, you know, I was found out right there. But that's where it started, my love for music. I always had it. I'm telling you, from my mother's womb, she was a 60s and 70s AM pop radio junkie. I mean, no matter what she was doing, cooking, cleaning, the radio was on, singing. My father was a guitarist. He sang a little bit with the Duprees, a big Johnny Cash fan. And so really I had no choice right from the get-go. And it's been 42 years doing it, and still in love, still possessed, however anybody wants to put it.
Yeah. Well, your mom's like a kindred spirit, because I was an AM pop fanatic. I mean, I was born in 67, but everybody says that I was born in the wrong era, because I just caught the end of the 60s, and I was young throughout the 70s. But that's, if I'm listening to music, I'm either listening to indie or I'm listening to the 70s. I mean, or the 60s. I don't know why. There's just something. I think it's because it tells a story. There's a purpose behind the song. It's not just making noise and trying to get, to number one on the Billboard charts, if that makes any sense.
Right up.
And that's why I like your music, because it tells a story. And I mean, you can hear the influence of your mom listening to that, because when I said Seals and Croft, like that's the first person and it was the song Summer Breeze that popped into my head as soon as I started listening to one of your songs. So
that's one of my faves.
Oh my God, isn't it? It's so beautiful.
Like you said, that's songwriting. That's true lyric writing, a craft. Now, I'm not going to say it's lost today, but certainly emphasized back in the day.
Yeah.
Forgive me for interrupting.
No, by all means. And it needs to come back, and I'm glad you're bringing it back. Okay, so you started off playing drums. Do you still play drums, or do you just play guitar now? Or all?
No, I just play. I went from the bass guitar to a six string. Taught myself playing records and everything. I don't know how my parents put up with me. My dad would always say, "I can't wait for you to get on the radio so I could turn you off." You know.
Oh my God!
Always. No, but he was my biggest supporter. God bless him. You know?
No, the funny part is my dad used to tell me the same thing, and I've been a radio announcer for like 20 plus years.
Yeah, we should have been born with an on-off switch.
Right? That's too funny. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I learned off of records, you know, vinyl records back in the day were everything, you know.
Yeah.
And, so I would just sit there near a little speaker with my guitar, bass guitar, going into a six string. I play primarily a 12 string now, and I just, again, from that 70s influence, just love the acoustic with the vocals, just something so deep about that.
Yeah, and there is. I still can't. That's funny. Both our dads said the same thing. Although when I sing, I can imagine people would be turning off their radios because, oh no, seriously, I cannot do it. Okay, so have you written any music for any major films that we may have heard?
Yeah, let me see. Major film, like TV, you may have heard, but major films, it's really indie film. I know there's an actor, we talked about The Sopranos, but there's an actor, Frank Vincent, was in a movie called Van Vorst Park, a mob movie, of course. And so I music supervised that, and I threw a song called Twisted in there, which had a lot to do with it. So that's probably as far as I got. But then I just recently co-wrote something with Joe Juarez a couple of years ago in a film that didn't really go too far, but Russ Regan was the music supervisor. And Russ Regan, boy, he was the first one brave enough to sign Elton John in America and work very closely with the Beach Boys. So to me, these are famous people, and I've heard of them, but perhaps not everyone has, you know.
Well, and it's nice to hear about the people behind the scenes, you know? And I mean, it is a big risk to sign Elton John back in the day. I mean, think about it. Look at Elton John, you know? So, yeah. So, like, thank God he did, though. Could you imagine the world without Elton John? Oh. No. Okay, so, and you've done TV?
Yes. For mainly Hearst Entertainment Television. We did, we had pretty much all the music in a reality TV show called The Bravest. It was a reality show about firemen, and unfortunately, the first bunch of episodes were firemen who had perished in 9/11.
Oh.
And so the show was going on. They filmed all these fellows, and then you're watching them. It was kind of sad, very sad, actually, and tragic. And it's just, hey, you know, where life takes you, what it exposes you to. You just don't know which turn. But it's always bittersweet, you know. It's a bittersweet thing. It's a great thing to put on my resume, The Bravest, but also, you know, kind of sad. Like life, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like life. But yeah. I wish it would have still been on. That's amazing. Okay, so you've been in this industry, like you said, for 40-something years, right?
Yes.
If you had any advice to give anybody that's either just starting out in the industry or in the industry, just based on what you've gone through, Rob, what do you think your advice would be for them?
Well, there's a couple of things I would say. You know, write for the listener. It's good to draw from yourself, but always think about the listener. Always try to bring healing. But before you get to that point, if you're songwriting, if you're a singer, go to support groups, go to critiques. As a songwriter, I went to critiques, and there's nothing like having your head handed to you day after day. You know, it's humbling. You learn so much. I would really focus on the craft. These days, looks seem to have a lot more at some points to do with it, but I'm a craftsman. I believe if you have a good song, it'll take you somewhere. So I would just say, really, just get out there, get your head handed to you, play, write, sing. Over time, you'll perfect the craft in terms of who you are and what you can offer, but always to the listener. That's just my take on it.
Well, it's great advice. I've never ever heard anybody say anything about critiquing, like going to critique support groups and having your music, kind of torn apart.
Oh yeah. New York is. Oh my goodness, I've never been anywhere else, but you go to New York, you'll definitely get brutalized.
But it is,
in the best ways.
Yeah, in the best ways, because you learn, right? You learn from what you're doing wrong. So, wow, that is amazing. Yeah. Okay, now which two songs are we going to hear from you?
Well, I'm hoping it's a Wake Up and what?
It is. And you're going to be releasing. Have you released your new EP, Americana?
No, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm about to by the end of the month, and hopefully could do a giveaway on your show, and I'll send EPs to anybody. That's who I am.
Okay, well, good. Again, yeah, definitely come back on the show anytime you want.
Oh, that's great.
Now, your songs can be found pretty much everywhere that everybody buys music on the internet. As well, like this is more of your songwriting website, and you're going to be adding your artistry to it, but it is toplinesongwriter.com that
that's me.
People can go to and find out more about you. And I love your music. I'm so glad you came on the show. Thank you so much. It's being played on Ali's Amplified Attic and always will be. And like I said, you're welcome back anytime. And have a fantastic day. I wish you the best success.
Oh, I'm humbled. Thank you so much, Ali. I really appreciate that. I love your show. I've been prepping myself listening to you. You just have a great mind, a great voice, and radio needs you. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you. I wasn't expecting that, Rob. Don't thank you. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much. And everyone, keep checking Ali's Attic Show website and my YouTube channel. You never know what kind of surprises you're going to find in my attic. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. Cheers.
Looking through my open window, here's a patch of sky so blue, and I hear somebody walking, shouting out obscenities, tales of no serenity. Wake up, all I've dreamed conspires to send me home. Yesterday's a thought to master, tomorrow an unspoken truth, and I hear songs from the rafters, filled with all that I can see, all that I have yet to be. Wake up, all I've dreamed conspires to send me. Wake up, all I've dreamed conspires to send me home. Ask the maid to clean the cobwebs from your head. Your intentions now are fuzzy, but your blood's still burning red. Wish I had a taste for coffee to take the morning burden off me. Wake up, all I've dreamed conspires to send me. Wake up, all I've dreamed conspires to send me home. Why are you doing what you did? Huh? Why did you kill the life you lived? Huh? Raised upon a cardboard spoon. Huh? Still you pulled the sunlight from the moon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's a pretty blue spinning rock. The place is buzzing round the clock. I hear the bluegrass playing. I hear the doorman saying, things are looking up. Things are looking up. Things are looking up. Things are looking up. It's always funny what you hear. Huh? Words enchanted, barbed with spears. Huh? When I was 20, I recall. Huh? I always laughed as I would fall. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's a pretty blue spinning rock. The place is buzzing round the clock. I hear the bluegrass play. I hear the doorman say, things are looking up. Things are looking up. Things are looking up. Things are looking up. Time's a silent puppeteer. Huh, huh. The strings they stretch year after year. Prepare to heed the curtain call. Huh. May you be laughing as you fall. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's a pretty blue spinning rock. The place is buzzing round the clock. I hear the bluegrass play. I hear the doorman say, things are looking up. Things are looking up. Things are looking up. Things are looking up. Well, it's a pretty blue spinning rock. Place is buzzing round the clock. I hear the bluegrass play. I hear the doorman say, things are looking up. 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 Things are looking up.